Alright, so the racers have started. Or, well, Msushi has started. And so, the game is revolved around jumping, climbing, and dashing. And DukeFireBird has just started as well, meaning that the race has officially begun. And we've got jumping, which is jumping, climbing, which is you climb up a wall until your stamina has been run out. And we've got dashing, which Msushi has just showed you. It's kind of like an extra jump, but it's slightly faster. And we can abuse this with a couple of different strats. We have hyper dashing, which is essentially a jump dash or jump dash cancel, except faster. And we abuse that, and we also abuse wave dashing, which is dash diagonally, and once you hit the ground, you jump. And now we're on to Forsaken City, which is the first level, and it's the shortest. We see Msushi blazing through these first couple of rooms. DukeFireBird has also just begun, and he's coming in at a much slower pace, but we'll see if he can break his PB. And so we see Msushi just blazing through these rooms. He's already on the, he already passed the second checkpoint, which is pretty interesting. And DukeFireBird has already made his way to the first checkpoint, so... And now we are on to Chasm on Msushi's side. Oh, I also forgot to explain fresh crystals. Zippers are these little blocks that move a certain distance for a short amount of time. And we also have refresh crystals, which replenish your dash and stamina. And Msushi has just completed with a... I couldn't see that time. And now Msushi is on to Old Site, which is the second level of the game, which introduces a couple of new gimmicks. It's dream blocks, which are these little goopy... we also have the doors, the weird doors that I can't ever explain, which you unlock by collecting these coins, which vary upon the room. And the dream blocks are goopiness, and they just, every time you dash through them, you get, as well as you can jump out of them. And Msushi has come up to the Battle and Fight, which is the third gimmick of this entire place, who follows you upon a 3-second delay. Ooh, and an unfortunate death from Msushi, but didn't lose much time in the progress. And DukeFireBird has managed to come up to the Old Site section, so... Msushi messing up a little bit, but he gains his ground with a... And now we're coming up to the end of the section from Msushi, which would just say, or well, end of the first section, and now we're on to the Awake section, which is, you basically can't die here. And Msushi finishes up with a 354, and DukeFireBird is on the Battle and Chase right now as we speak. Now Msushi has begun on the section called Celestial Resort Hotel, which, if you guys already knew this, then it's probably one of the worst sections in the game. It ramps up difficulty very, very much. And it introduces cycles, which are these dust creatures, as we call them. You have two types of cycles, entrance and depth cycles. Entrance is when you enter the room and you have a cycle, which it does a certain amount of things in a certain amount of time. And death cycles is when you die, it does a certain cycle. And Msushi dying a couple of times, which is a little bit of a time loss in this matter, but I don't think it's going to be very much at this point. And DukeFireBird is on the ending section of the second checkpoint in the old site, coming up onto the awake section. But I also forgot to mention keys and doors, which are essentially keys and doors. You can't really go much into detail with that. And now we're moving on to the huge mess section, which is you have to clean up this huge mess with these 3 jelly blocks. They're like small sections of horribleness, in my opinion. And we're gonna see our first little glitch, which is a wall bound, spike jump, which is essentially you jump technically behind the hitbox of the spikes, using the wall to boost you up, and you only have a couple of frames to spare this. DukeFireBird is on to the Celestial Resort now, so he is currently at a 603. And now Msushi finishing up the second part of the huge mess, which is an interesting book little thing. And now we're on to the purple-white section. Msushi blazing through these rooms just like normal. He might go on to PB pace, who knows? Hopefully DukeFireBird will PB in this race, and if he does, that's very good. And now we managed to go into the elevator shaft, which is an elevator shaft. Missing a couple of checkpoints here from Msushi, but it'll be fine. I forgot to tell you guys about the hotel manager, who is this spectral guy, and here comes another glitch in the, or well, not glitch, but intended. You get the key from the other side using a bunch of hyper dashes, and then you retry in order to, because it's faster. And DukeFireBird is coming up onto the huge mess section in just a couple of seconds. And Msushi has now come up onto the Oshiro fight. Is essentially Oshiro's mad at you because he wants you to stay at the hotel, but you kind of have to climb the mountain, so yeah, bad times. And ooh, an unfortunate death from Msushi. These rooms get really long and brutal, so if you die on one of these rooms, it kind of comes back to bite you in the heel. And now Msushi is on the last room before going on Chapter 4, Golden Ridge. With a time of 9:19? I couldn't read that properly. That is a 9:16, which is extremely impressive in this matter. And Msushi, well, now DukeFireBird is coming up onto the second section of Old Huge Mess. Msushi now going on to Golden Ridge, which has a couple of new or more interesting gimmicks, which is the wind, which is annoying unless you're somebody like TGH. Shout out to you, TGH. And we have the clouds, which boost you if you jump on them. And we also have the turquoise green bubbles, which is boost you a dash distance. And now we're going to see another spike jump, which lasts about another couple of... it gives you a couple of seconds. Blazing through these rooms. Is he going to go for the auto-scroller skip? Ooh, unfortunately he had to retry there. We're probably going to go see this auto-scroller skip, which was done very well. And now we have the amount of... on Firebird's side, we have the last section of Huge Mess completed, so we're going to see him go into Elevator Shaft, while Msushi just going right through these rooms like they are nothing. The couple of deaths that I've seen from Msushi, are they jitters? I don't know. Probably. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to see the heavy wind section from Msushi, which is really, really bad winds trying to slow your progress down. Versus, and coming up in this next couple of rooms is the snowballs, which are like Oshiro, but come from the right instead of the left, and they lock onto your vertical position and try and murder you. And DukeFireBird coming in onto the Oshiro section right now, with his time being at 12:37. Msushi dying an unfortunate death, or well, retrying at this last room inside of Golden Ridge, with a time of 12:35, which is an extremely impressive time as of right now. He's coming up onto the Mirror Temple, which come up with a couple of new intriguing different things, which are the dash blocks, which they only work after you dash. We also have red bubbles, which are turquoise bubbles, except they go for infinite time until you hit either a wall or you die or dash out of it. And sooner or later, we're going to see Seekers from Msushi. DukeFireBird dying a couple of times onto the vertical or onto the horizontal dash room, which is an annoying room to deal with. and Msushi going in for this well-intended developer skip, which is you skip a key and just go straight into this second bubble, which boosts you into the next room, saving well over a minute in this case. And DukeFireBird finishes up with a 14:20, which is a good time. And Msushi coming in onto the Nightmare section. And Msushi now just going right through the Seeker room, or Seeker section. And DukeFireBird is now on Golden Ridge, so he's not too far behind. I'll say a couple of minutes at most. And we're talking to Battlein only for a couple of milliseconds. And now the Seekers, they lock onto horizontal and vertical positions while trying to simultaneously murder you. An excellent balance off of the Seeker just right now from Msushi. And now we're on to the search section from Msushi, which we have this very beautiful, it saves about 2 minutes, I believe. It's called the search skip, and it kind of developer intended because of the extended hyperdash, or reverse hyperdash being used in order to use it, or in order to do it. And DukeFireBird just finished the shrine section, or well, just came up onto the shrine section in while Msushi is now on to the Theo section. And just going right through these rooms, like, again, they're butter. I can't believe it's not butter. Msushi doing a nice little skip here, saves a couple of seconds, but unfortunately dies on the second to last room within the and now we're on to the final room of Mirror Temple, which is you throw Theo at an eyeball, and there you go, that's the end. He comes in with a 17:14 in file time, so extremely impressive times coming from Msushi. But that's because his PB is 32 minutes as of right now, coming from speedrun.com. And DukeFireBird is having a bit of trouble within Golden Ridge right now, so hopefully he can go through these rooms a little bit quicker. That is, if he's practiced them. And Msushi not going for Lake Skip, which is simultaneously not surprising and surprising, considering that Lake Skip is a very good skip that you should learn. But it's a very tough skip to learn as well. And now I should teach you all about the gimmicks of this chapter, which are the golden feathers, which are essentially you can move in any direction for a short amount of time. We also have the Kevin blocks, or crush blocks as most people call them. And we're gonna have bumpers soon. Kevin blocks are essentially they boost for a pretty long time, but we also have the bumpers, which are coming up very soon in this section where you just choose your own path. There's a bumper right there which bumps you in the opposite direction of where you bumped from. And DukeFireBird is on the heavy wind section. Going right through these rooms like they're nothing, as I've said before. I probably say that way too often. I should probably say something else instead. And he's going for the bottom path, which is easier than the top path, but it's slightly slower by 0.3 seconds from what I've heard. And DukeFireBird is just coming up onto the last section of Golden Ridge. And we're going to see the Battle-In fight soon, which is essentially Battle-In's really mad at you, so she wants to kill you. With 2 attacks, Electrolysis and Laser Beams of Death. And DukeFireBird moving on to Mirror Temple, which is good for his time, which is an hour and 3 minutes, I believe. Will he PB? I don't know. And Msushi going for the Battle-In boost. And gets it first try, which is very good, considering how small of a time save it is. And the Battle-In fight works off of a just hit them basis, not a health bar or anything. Blitzing through these sections, just like the complete pro that Msushi is. And an unfortunate death from him just now. Commentators first. I am sorry, but I have to speak. It's just the commentator's job. Msushi's oh, and there it comes back. Sorry about that, folks. I just couldn't see what he was doing for a second. Anyway, he's soon to be coming up onto the second part of the Battle-In fight. And DukeFireBird is now, just did the developer intended skip in the second, or, second section of DukeFireBird, or well, in Mirror Temple. And DukeFireBird on the second section of the Battle-In fight, again, blitzing through this entire section. And now Msushi coming up onto the second to, or well, the last room of the section. And now he's leveled up, which means that he gains a second dash, which is the main gimmick of Summit. Which is the second. Is the last chapter of the game. Will we see a PB from Msushi? I have no idea. And now we're in Summit, which is a combination of all the chapters previously, starting from Reflection, since we plummeted all the way from the near top of the summit to the bottom of the summit, or to the bottom of the mountain. And I forgot to mention that Msushi finished up with a 23:47 around that time. And DukeFireBird coming up onto the search section, so that's good, considering how far he is behind. Which is probably around 6-7 minutes. That is if he doesn't mess up on Summit. And I forgot to mention that Msushi is now on the 500 meter part of Summit, and an unfortunate death from him just now in the second to last room before the 1,000 meter mark, which is Old Site. And now Msushi is on the 1,000 meter site, or 1,000 meter, just being the absolute boss he is. And DukeFireBird is now on the Theo section. So we're going to see that in just a second. We're going to see him come up on Reflection soon, so being prepared for that. And Msushi on the second to last, or third to last chamber, or second to last chamber of 1,000 meters, coming up onto the 1,500 meters, which is probably the hardest part other than the 3,000 meter part inside of Summit. And him coming up with the ultras and just blazing through these cycles again like they're nothing. Will he go for the ultra strat, which is essentially a really, really ridiculous strat that saves a couple of movements, or a couple of moments. Which is, he finished it in the first try, so that's good. And now Msushi moving on to the 2,000 meter section of Summit, which is the Golden Ridge part. Will he go for auto-scroller skip? Probably. And we see him getting the Swagberry. Losing a little bit of momentum. And now we're on the Snowball Room, which is the only Snowball Room inside of the 2,000 meters. Ooh. and got hit by a stray snowball, so an unfortunate death from Msushi. And Msushi getting the auto-scroller skip on first try. And DukeFireBird is now moving on to Msushi is soon to be moving on to the 2,500 meter part of Summit, so good luck to him on this one. He is probably going to go for door skip. Door skip is, as the meme suggests, it saves 9 years, or as the normal people say, it only saves a second in reality. Coming up with these corner boosts. And doing another nifty skip in this game, which is the bubble skip or key skip, as most people call it, which I don't say is right, but you do you, man. And Msushi is going for door skip and gets it on first try. Saves a couple of seconds, and that is, or well, a second at most. But in this case, every second counts. And now Msushi moves on to 3,000 meters, which signifies the end of the run. He might make his PB here if he does this section, or well, does all the 30 checkpoints correctly. And now we are on the 27th, sorry. And DukeFireBird making it through Reflection. And just so you guys know, you can actually now just completely do your thing, do the checkpoint counting. It's fun. It's fun for the whole family. And he's moving on to the updraft section. He is now on checkpoint 14. And he is just moving on to checkpoint 13. He is on PB pace, but who knows, he might have a stray death like right there. Commentator's curse. And now checkpoint 11. He might skip checkpoint 10 in order to make time, but no, he has not. He has not skipped checkpoint 10. He will probably skip checkpoint 8 though. That saves a little more time than checkpoint 10 skipping. And unfortunately, Msushi does not make the checkpoint. Or the PB pace. as I thought he would. But he will get a very good time, a probably low 33s. And now he is on checkpoint 3 and moving on to checkpoint 2 now. And it looks like he is going to make... He makes a 33-12, which was exactly what one of the commenters has just left. So, shall we get an interview from Msushi? Anyway, it's time for us to move on to DukeFireBird's audio. And now he is on the Battle and Fight. Firebird looks like he's on PB pace, which means this is going to be a very good match. Anyway, DukeFireBird making it through the... Sorry for the no commentary for a second, I was just looking at Discord just for a moment. But we are now making it into a good section of this battle and fight. Doesn't look like Msushi is joining us for an interview, but that's perfectly fine. And right now we are moving on to not the second section, sorry. We're just seeing a couple of deaths from DukeFireBird right here. But he's making through progress, and now he's on the second section, he's making it to the second section of the entire place. And well done for making it through the second section room, completely unscathed. Taking his time, which I personally agree with. You should really take your time if you're not very good with certain sections of the game. This is from speedrunner to speedrunner, in this case. DukeFireBird making it through these sections very quickly, actually, considering how his first couple of chapters went. This is the second to last room before the last, or well, the last room before the second to last room of this. And he has made it through, and he is now leveled up, which I'm not going to explain again. And now DukeFireBird has made it to Summit, which is very good for how he's been running. That he is on probably sub hour mark, so that's going to be a PB for him, which is very good. And being safe rather than sorry, he's going the normal route, the noob route. Ah, okay. DukeFireBird's unofficial PB is 58 minutes 2 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know this until just this second. Having a little bit of trouble on this room, however. He might be nearing my PB, so that's pretty interesting. So this is very good for what he's been doing in this couple of in this first couple of chapters. He's managed to completely ramp up his speed. And some very interesting comments coming from @MayMB. Such as the New York Times, find breaking news multimedia reviews. Oh, that's cracking me up right now. But DukeFireBird now coming up into the old site section, which is very good as of right now. And an unfortunate death from DukeFireBird, but he probably is going to recover from that. Ooh, and an unfortunate death even after getting the coins. And practically saves himself from a death with that dash, or well, with that hit on the block. I don't know how to say comments. Dang it. And he's now moved on to the 1500, which he blazed through the first run. It was not. Ooh, and now he has to endure the death cycle of this third run. But manages to get through the door room without a scratch on him. So that might save just slightly a bit of time. Not too much. But I don't think he's on PB pace anymore, considering how he's been doing right now. Jitters are probably starting to come into play. And not going for the shortcut, which is quite interesting. But he's probably trying just to be safe. And sorry, that is not my watch, that is just a stupid thing behind me. Ah, okay, whatever. It was just a little alarm that was on just for a second. Anyway, now moving on to the 2,000 meter section, which I'm sorry I'm late with. I am really sorry. Just watching all these comments roll by is just kind of funny to me. You're just as entertaining as I am, which is not very entertaining. I'm sorry, I dissed the chat. You guys are amazing. Seriously, though. But anyway, if you guys have not followed Speed Gaming, all of their channels, you should. You really should. They are amazing people for hosting our tournament, and we will be forever grateful for it. thank you for the compliment, QB Dash, as you are named within Twitch. And another unfortunate death from DukeFireBird, but this time coming from the last chamber of the place. Ooh, and an unfortunate death, which costs him a couple of seconds. Uh-oh, how unfortunate. I'm sorry, QB Dash, you should be sorry for what you have just started. And he's now moved on to the 2500 meters, which is the last remaining checkpoint before 3000 meters. Yeah, it really does hurt, QB Dash. See, the thing about commentating is that you also have to have a good amount of commentation and chat interaction. So I think this is my tip of the day for anybody willing to commentate. Dying a couple of times, which isn't that much of a time destroyer, but it's in this case. And he tried to go for door skip. But failed a couple of times first. Usually this isn't a beginner strat, so he's losing a lot of time. A lot of valuable time. But he's persisting, which is commendable. But now he's gone the normal way and lost probably a lot of time, and he still dies anyway. In all honesty, you don't actually have to be a runner in order to be able to commentate this game. At first, it looks fast compared to most games. Unless you're talking about like TGH or somebody like that. It's interesting. But now moving on to the oh, that's true, sorry. I mean, you could be a volunteer though. That's probably another good perk about being part of the speed gaming community, which is why you again should follow and subscribe to Speed Gaming on Twitch, because they're, again, gracious hosts. So follow them, follow the runners, please. They deserve all the respect for actually going up to these races. And now he's on the downdraft section. Sorry about that, guys. And again, you guys can feel free to do the beautiful checkpoint counting with me. So I believe that is checkpoint 18? I don't know. No, 2024. Don't flatter me. You don't flatter me, QB Dash. Seriously, I don't need that many followers, Jesus. But it's well appreciated for doing that. And now I believe he is making it to 19. Yep, that is correct. 19 is key right now. And now he is on 17. Beautiful. Surprisingly, he's much faster at the summit checkpoints than I thought. And now he is on checkpoint 16, and coming up on checkpoint 14, just now. Anytime you hear the confetti sound, which is whew, just count down. I am horrible today, Jesus. Especially with me doing onomatopoeia. Moving on to checkpoint 13. Yay! But it seems like on the pace that he is going by, he might not make his PB of 58.12. Earlier, he was on PB pace, which was very good. Yeah, it's commentator's curse. I'm contradicting myself as of this moment because of commentator's curse. 5802. Thank you for that, at May MB, with your beautiful AI skills. Make sure you don't take over the world, please. I would rather not see that, especially for this game. Because, seriously, if we don't have a sentient AI that doesn't destroy the world, we won't have Celeste. Or we won't be able to enjoy the Celeste speedruns. Because you could probably just delete all the speedruns from speedrun.com. And we'd be like, oh no. He's now on checkpoint... Is that 3? It's checkpoint 3. Oh, and thank you, May, for being such an avid supporter of speedruns. And it looks like he actually might PB by a pretty long time, actually. 20 seconds? And it looks like it was by 11 seconds at most. Will we be joined quickly for a beautiful, beautiful interview? Unless we have to cut for time, then that's not that great. So, GG DukeFireBird.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow, actually, you just joined. That surprised me for a second. But, PB, great. That's beautiful.
Yeah! That summit could have gone a lot better, though. Oh, man.
It definitely could have been.
Yeah, what really sucks, I was going into the summit with three minutes ahead of PB.
Oh, your sum of best was 3 minutes ahead?
Yeah. Well, no, as of that point, as of the run.
Alright. So, in the beginning, you certainly died a lot more than most runners would. Is it jitters, or is it just...
Probably jitters, yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Jitters, and I have a bad controller.
So now, I don't think we're cut for time, so we can talk for a bit longer.
Right?
Yeah, so once you hit Reflection, you actually started to blossom a lot more.
That's weird, because actually what's weird is that according to my my gold splits, Reflection and Summit I lost time. And Forsaken today I lost time. Everything else was a gold.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, so it didn't seem like it, but I know my battle and fight got a lot better, because I think I only caught 2 deaths during battle lines, so I'm getting a lot better in that section.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, though, how you lost time on that.
I think I had a lot more deaths in the beginning part.
The battle and fight.
Before battling.
Yeah. We also saw that your near the end of your summit, you started playing it a lot more safe, which is a good strategy, especially.
I don't feel my summit climb changed any. I usually try to hit every checkpoint just to be on the safe side.
Yeah,
if that's what you're referring to, because otherwise I don't feel like I've done anything different.
It's all a matter of perspective. In this case, my perspective on it was pretty well done, even for a safe run like that.
I'm just going over my log, obviously. I just want to see where I can potentially save some time, so... Summit definitely, but... That was a lot better than usual. I mean, my last PB, I just barely cracked sub 100 death. This one I got 113, but I know where they all are, so...
Yep. Alright, so, hold on. Let's find out when the next matchup is, really quickly. If it's now, then it's probably not a... Oh, wow. It is now. But it's on Speed Gaming 1, so everybody, go over there! That's probably the better place to watch now, because we have Sneaky and Chocolate. Sorry, just plugging all of Speed Gaming into this.
That's what you're supposed to do, man!
Obligatory plugs.
Shameless plugs.
In this case, it is shameless, but because it's not my channel.
Fair enough. But yeah, so I'll say it now. Thank you for the commentary. GG's for my opponent. I know he had to basically dart out after the match, so GG's to him.
Good job.
Thanks for commentating.
And we'll see you all on the next race you have, if you have one.
Yep, I still got a couple more. Unfortunately, like 2 of the people we've had like almost no contact with. One of them started to go, okay, I can finally get this going. And then my other one's gonna be Teej. So. Oh,
your other one's.
Yeah, I still got to face Teej. Yeah, that's gonna be a. I'm gonna get my butt kicked. So.
Don't forfeit now. You could always get a new.
Oh, I'm never forfeiting. I'm never forfeiting. I am currently 4 for 4 on PBs in the tournament, so I'm gonna keep going. I want to see if I can go 7 for 7.
That's really good. All right, we should probably end this stream now. So, obligatory plugs aside. I will see you all in the next commentary or the next race, which is coming up tomorrow, actually. So be prepared for that one.
Yep. Yep. I see that you have a match tomorrow. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you. And I'll see you all later.
Thanks, guys.